Well, hello, y'all. So, I've posted, I think, almost everywhere else. And so, here's your post for today. What have I learned with the majority of the cats here actually having FVR, which is feline viral rhinitis? It's basically herpes, the herpes virus for cats. I don't have herpes simplex 1, but it's like the same thing. So, in other words, they can have breakouts like that, but I've never experienced a cat with FVR that have had those. It's usually like a cold, snotty nose, sometimes green discharge, which is typically when they have a bacterial infection, a secondary bacterial infection on top of it. But it can be clear or cloudy discharge, and then coughing. They can have dry coughs when they can't like cough up like a wet cough, which they can't really spit out anyway, but that sucks. And this is way too short for me to tell you what I've learned. But anyway, all of that, severe lethargy, and they can hide, they can stop eating. I haven't had any of that right now. And then constant sneezing and sometimes fever. But it usually goes away 7 to 10 days and can last up to 21 days or more. What I've actually learned is, one, I don't have a way of separating kitties or anything like that, but I typically clean their bowls twice a day. So they'll eat in the morning, have their dry food in the afternoon. They'll have sometimes dry food first a little bit, then wet food. If I have lysine, I'll mix in. A lot of the research doesn't support it anymore, but honestly, I've been out for about 3 weeks or so, and I don't know if they were more prone to have this issue since they've not had it, but I kind of want to go back to it anyway. And then on top of that, they'll have their wet food with their extra medicine or supplements or something that I can give them. I don't have any probiotics right now, which is what I had them on for a while. Again, another reason why I think they're more prone to getting sick right now. And then I'll clean all of those bowls, and then I might give them some more dry food. I think in the future, I would wash the bowls again. They share these water bowls that are, I can't really fix that. They're probably passing spit that way. I do have dandelion tea in there to try to loose up some of the phlegm and help post-nasal stuff. So far, it seems to be working. The water outside change daily, so those are okay things that I've been dealing with that have helped, I think. But I think I would have started Lysoling a long time ago. I didn't even think about it because we only had a few that were sick here and there. It wasn't really a complete breakout after the last kind of bout of things. And this time, literally everyone except for Stella and Shadow have gotten sick. And I don't know if that's because I gave them boosters several times before, but Stella's never gotten sick since she got sick the very first time years ago in 2018. But I know that she would be a carrier, in other words, because you can't just it doesn't go away. So I'm hoping we get to a stage like that. They also eat better foods overall than the other kitties, and I just haven't been able to afford it. So I do know that there are some supplements that I would like to get on top of things I need to get again for the kitties, and then I would like to upgrade them back to a little bit better food like I was doing before. I was at least mixing it in so that hopefully they're getting some kind of vitamins and increasing their immune system for this not to happen again, because we're not really stressful around here. They don't really fight. Everything's good. We do have a couple of strays that have appeared really sick and had some issues. I haven't caught a few of them. I'm still working on Vecna. And honestly, it's just been too hot, and I just haven't felt like taking him to get fixed. And I really should. He's been pretty sick. Hopefully he's through it by now, but we'll see. But he does cause stressors because he'll kind of make a commotion so that I know that he's outside. Other than that, he doesn't really mess with anybody, but I know that those are additional stressors, which is another reason why I want to have the perfect fence that keeps them safe and in the yard. again, also stressing that because had we had that, as some of the kitties were getting sick, I would have allowed, it would have been easier to allow the other ones to go outside so that I know that they're back there and fine, because Doodlebug and Toast were showing symptoms later on. And that could be because they shared water or bowls. I'm not sure. It could be because I wasn't lysoling the crap out of things and they refused to not share, because I do give individual bowls, but you know, and then I do combine food, the dry food, and then I'll have extra so if they want to eat. I don't let the outdoor kitties right now eat this food, so I am trying harder to do that, but it's a lot of effort for just me. I've also made it a habit that at the end of the night when I'm done, instead of just washing off the counters and everything, I am additionally doing a double Clorox on the counters just to try to work that in. Jason's also Lysoling the crap out of all the litter boxes. I'm doing that. Everything is getting Lysoled and cleaned. We've been washing more often, mostly because they were getting sick and vomiting. But I mean, I can't, there's only so much I can do. So I would say I would focus more on some of those things on top, since I can't really focus on more expensive food, and sometimes we're barely knowing where we get the money for food. But there are some cats that I don't know how they got it, because they're not in the same area. They don't eat out of the same bowls. I have no clue. They are not even in the same, nothing. So it just goes to show you that you really just don't know. And so here on out, I know that I would like to focus on improving their immune system, which is what I was doing. And I dropped the ball because, you know, we're broke. But I have been taking some of the ones that are really congested outside for a little while, letting it break up, and then bringing them back in to clean up and everything. Yes, everybody also has their own place that they like to lay. There are a couple of boxes that most of the sick kitties really likes to go, or there was a sick kitty and then a couple of non-sick kitties who eventually got sick. And I was like, well, the second one got sick again. Maybe it was from that box. It's that box. So I started Lysoling the crap out of it, and it still happened. So I at this point, it's just about addressing some things. I do know that there are tons of places for them to sleep in cubbies around here. They don't like all of that all the time. So, and I also know that they are so bonded that I just really didn't want to split them up too much, because I feel like that would be even more stressors. Some of them really didn't want to be touched or pet, but they want to be near you. Me. But don't pet me. I just want to be near you. I don't feel good. And that's okay. So others wanted to isolate. Like Puzzle did that for a while. I was kind of worried about her. But none of them stopped eating. They're all doing really well. I think Oscar's really taken the brunt of things. He seems to have more congestion up top, and he doesn't seem to like to sneeze. So he's just kind of letting it fall. And so I had to come out with him with the baby sucker, and he started sneezing, so we'll see. Lastly, we do have a couple of stragglers. So right now the ones, Lumen is just really not doing so hot. I thought she was getting a little bit better, and she feels miserable, poor little baby. And while she is doing a lot of sneezing, she just seems to not be handling it very well. She can breathe. She wasn't able to breathe before. I took her outside for a little while. That helped a lot, immensely, but she wanted to come back inside. But right now, Charles is the one kind of suffering. Just very lethargic, not really into eating, but just sleeping and kind of gagging. But nothing else. And then London is sneezing all over the place. It's just ridiculous. So she needs like she needs a mask. But yeah, so overall, I think it's just really difficult watching them go through this and not being able to do anything. You feel helpless. You just want to make them feel better. You keep an eye on them. They're breathing. We've only had Reese be kind of green and snotty, so she definitely needs something for a bacterial infection. And then the ones that have been not breathing very well, them too. So we have a vet appointment for Pine on Monday in the afternoon, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can get some medicine. But yeah, so it's work. You know, well, I'm sure I could go to work during the day and then come back. There are a couple of kitties I would be way too concerned doing that with, that need or I feel like need more attention. Other than that, I had a chance to leave today, and I just felt like I really needed to be here for Oscar. And yeah, and then Francesca, she is starting to just feel it a little bit too, her and Doodlebug, so we'll see how that goes. So far, the ones that have remained outside or been outside somewhat inside, they're fine. They haven't had any issues, so it's definitely centralized to the house, and more time spent in here. But by the time I saw the beginning of things starting, I was already starting to super clean. It was already too late, so here on out, I will be a lot more diligent about it, and yeah, it's just a lot of work. I spend several hours taking care of them already, and so on top of that, and a few of them on Doxy, it's just a lot. I think in the beginning, I wouldn't have started a couple of them on it when I saw symptoms. I'll wait until if it gets a little bit more severe. So yeah, that's it.